Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. There's going to be a bit of background noise in this video as they are doing building work next door. I can't do anything about that. But today we're going to go over Urban Hymns by the Verve. This was a requested review from Bagel Hounds on Instagram. So thank you, Bagel Hounds. I'll do your review now. So let's get straight into it, shall we? So, as for the looks, I mean, I love this album cover. This is very iconic for, like, the 90s with their outfits. Like, I love the 90s style. I was born in 97, so I obviously missed all that. But I would love, I love those tulip hats. And just the unkempt style of the band is brilliant. The 90s had all the best fashion, as well as the 80s. Anyway, it's a great album cover. It is a double album, but it doesn't come with a gatefold. However, they make up with that with some great sleeves. So I swear I read somewhere that that's not their dog. Someone else's dog interrupted the photo shoot. So they used the photo because they thought it was quite funny. Now that might be untrue. Like it wasn't a credited source, so I'm not sure. But all the songs. Some great promotional pictures, and then band members: Simon Jones, Peter Salisbury, Richard Ashcroft, who was one of my favourite vocalists, Nick McGabe, who is an amazing guitarist, very underrated, and Simon Tom. Well, I'll show you one of the records, I'll show you the label, but the labels are the same, so there's no point in me getting them both out. And someone asked me why I now have a ring light, and I just saw that everyone else had one. So I picked one up, and it's been perfect. I've been able to film, I know it's a tangent, but I've been able to film in the dark, and I have that tripod, which now holds my phone, so it's just perfect. Anyway, let's get into the songs, because that's the best bit. So, A1, or the start of the album, we have Bittersweet Symphony, probably the most famous Verve song. And unfortunately, there's a big story around that, and I will talk about it in a sec, but I feel like that song, that's their most famous song, and most people don't look past that. They have an amazing back catalogue, an amazing Richard Ashcroft solo career as well is amazing, but for most music listeners, and especially rock fans, they don't look past that one song, or maybe Lucky Man, which is also on the album, and it's really unfortunate. The Verve are a very underrated band, in my opinion. Very underrated. Now, obviously, my favourite band, often, I can't point it out, my favourite band steals a lot of the limelight from other British 90s bands, I feel like. And it's like, I personally believe that Oasis is better, but that's only because that's my, I prefer the sound of Oasis over the sound of Blur or the Verve, or is it Swede, or Pulp, or any of these bands. But it's just like, they're just a very underrated band. It was Blur versus Oasis, or they talk about Pulp's Common People is a really famous one. But this, in my opinion, kind of went a bit underrated. So, anyway, Bittersweet Symphony has that ultra famous violin chords, and unfortunately, that was taken from a Rolling Stones song. Now, I read that Richard Ashcroft originally didn't have those violin chords, and it was their producer or their manager or someone who wanted them to put that in, and then they liked the sound of it, and unfortunately, it wasn't the Rolling Stones themselves, as in the band members, like Mick Jagger or Keith Richards. Even though he says, it says on here, Bittersweet Symphony, written by Mick Jagger and Keith Richards. Those two didn't want to make money. They're fucking millionaires. They didn't care about some other small British band. But it was their manager for the Rolling Stones who wanted a cut of the money and wanted the money. And of course, all the proceedings when that song came out went to them and not the Verve. And it was really like, it really hurt the band. And I know Keith, I'm blanking on his name. Why am I blanking on his name? Richard Ashcroft didn't want it to become like a commercial song. You know, he didn't want it to be used in adverts and things like that. And unfortunately, because he didn't then own the rights to the song, it got, it was used that way. And the song Cast No Shadow by Oasis, it's a beautiful song, but it's about Richard Ashcroft, and they wrote it for Richard Ashcroft because of what had been going on with this, And anyway, enough about that. But sorry, I'm all over the place. I believe it was 2017, or it might have been 2018, where the band, or Richard Ashcroft, finally got the rights and all the proceedings to the song. They gave it to him, which is lovely of them. And Sonnet is a beautiful song, amazing song. The Rolling People, again, is stunning. And my favourite song on the album, The Drugs Don't Work, it is stunning. It is just, it can bring me, it can make me emotional. It's a song that Richard wrote for his dad, who unfortunately was suffering with cancer, I believe. And the whole song is about, the drugs aren't helping you, and I'll never get to see your face again. And I can't imagine what it's like to be in that situation, And unfortunately, that's a situation that we as human beings find ourselves in later in life. And it's such a stunning song. The guitar work's amazing, his vocals is amazing, but the lyrics for me are what make it. And it's one of the greatest songs of all time, in my opinion. And it is incredibly underrated. It's amazing how not more people are listening to it, because it's so good and so, it's up there with David Bowie's Lazarus for me in terms of being really just beautiful. It's absolutely stunning. Catching the Butterfly is one I absolutely love. Neon Wilderness is amazing. Space in Time, Weeping Willow, both great songs. A Lucky Man is amazing. And I love how upbeat and happy it is. And I love the video where they're in that building, whatever building that is. I'm not sure what building it is, but he's in it and he's just got his acoustic guitar, Richard, It's just great video, stunning song. His vocals, Richard Ashcroft is such a unique, has such a unique voice. I absolutely adore it. I'll put it over. Why do I keep doing that? Amazing song. And One Day is just gorgeous. This Time, Velvet Morning are amazing. And then Come On, the closing track, is just brilliant. This album is incredibly underrated. Is it the best album of the 90s? No, it's not. But it's one of the best, and it doesn't get the credit it deserves. So, in conclusion... well, I don't need to say it again, but this is definitely a 9 out of 10 for me. I want you, if you've never heard this album, I want you to listen to this album all the way through. Not just a Bittersweet Symphony, and you just got to enjoy it. You just got to take it all in, because it is an amazing album. And some of their earlier albums, which I'm blanking on the names, are just brilliant as well. And there's a song, Keep What You Got, which Richard Ashcroft, it's not Richard Ashcroft. No, ignore me, that's the lead singer is Richard Ashcroft, isn't it? Brain. Is that not? Yeah, it is, sorry. It's Richard Ashcroft's solo career. He has a song that's one of my favourite songs of all time, called Keep What You Got, which features Noel Gallagher on guitar, but it's a stunning song. Keep what you got, don't let it all away. There's some singing for you. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the review, Bagel Hounds. It is an amazing album, you're right. And it was going to get reviewed because it was in V category. It was at the end of the alphabet. I was probably going to review it sometime fucking next year, unfortunately. But yeah, anyway, 9 out of 10, amazing album. Burp. Oh. to cut out. I hate having to cut at the end. Anyway, just someone interrupted. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time. And if you have any reviews, requests, please comment them below or Instagram me. Yeah, I'll see you next time. Take care, everyone. Yeah.